So home theatre nowadays is really important. A lot of people are staying at home now. So can you really get the same function from a TV that you would say from a projector? I've done a few videos in the past now regarding quite a few projectors, and I currently have one set up in the main bedroom in my house. And I wouldn't go back to a TV. I really wouldn't, because the conventional side of things is I can add anything I want to my projector. It has HDMI ports, or even if you want to go back in time to VGA ports. It has SD cards, USB cards, all that sort of stuff. So I can connect hard drives to it. I can connect my laptop to it, or anything I want to stream through the projector. Even gaming. A lot of people now seem to game on live projectors. So what we're actually looking at today is a Wi-Fi projector. So this is slightly smaller than the ones we've done in the past, but you'll be quite surprised on how this actually performs. So what we're looking at is So guys, this is what we're taking a look at. This is the Wi-Fi projector. This is model number BL43. And these are intended for home theatre, teaching, office use, and anything else you can think of what you would use a projector for. Now, we have done a few projectors in the past, some very large and small ones. And this one, I believe, is roughly in the middle of what we've reviewed before. So we're going to take a look at this and see what there is it can offer. So there's not much on the outside of the box. There's only a few things to do with the model number. Its rated voltage is 110 to 240 volts. And then there's a little bit about the customer information. So we're going to get this unboxed, see what we're working with. So this is what we get in the box. We get a very nice white projector going in here, which we're going to pop to the side for a minute. We get a user manual, which is going to tell you everything you need to know about the projector itself, everything from setting it up to angles and all that good stuff. We get a sealed microfiber cloth here, which is going to be for the lens to allow you to clean it up. We do get a 3.5mm jack to audio, depending on what device you are going to be using with this with. A lot of the smart devices won't use this, but all the devices will. We get two little, I believe these are little rubber feet. I'm assuming these are replacements. We have a power cable. It comes with a HDMI cable, which is nice to see, so you don't have to go out and buy any extras. And it also comes in a very nice remote. So we have basic functions on the remote. We have the on-off switch, mute, zoom, play or pause, flip. So a flip, I'm assuming, is if you mount this either upside down or normally, you can use the flip button to change the angle. We have volume rockers as well as our basic D-pad. So it's nice to see that they've offered everything you need for this projector to work. So later on in the video, we are going to go through what the projector actually looks like all set up. But first of all, we need to have a look at the projector itself. So first of all, on the projector, we do have several switches going on here, going from the on-off switch. We have the analog, left, right, up and down. We have back buttons, menu buttons, and OK. So we do have a full variety of buttons going on there as well. Now, for the actual lens here, we do have a adjustment wheel, which we're going to go into in a second. On the front of it, we do have the lens here with a silicone cap. So there is the lens. Silicone cap goes over to protect it. And then we do also have our infrared sensor. That's going to be for the remote. I believe that would be for either the speaker or the air intake. We have a USB card reader. We have a headphone jack, an AV jack, HD2, HD1, and also a USB receiver, which is nice to see. Now, on this side, we have a small grill going on here. And then we also have our power supply. And then on the bottom of the projector itself, we do have some different mounting features. So if you want to set this up on a tripod or on a ceiling tripod or anything like that, we do have a basic 1/4-inch thread in there. I believe that's 1/4-inch thread going on there. So you can use that as well as the one on the bottom here. So you do have a large amount of different varieties, whether you want to have this just sat on a unit or mounted on a tripod, mounted on the wall, mounted on the ceiling. You have full variety going on there. Now, when I said before about the adjustment wheel on the side, what we can do is actually scroll that and you can see the lens actually moves and protrudes in and out of the actual projector. To change it depending on where you actually have this set up and what size screen you actually want to go with. So that's one thing to take in consideration. So I do actually have a projector stream set up in the main bedroom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that over there, get everything plugged in, and we're going to have a look to see how this actually works. So let's go do that now. So we have the projector all set up here, and I currently have a projector screen, as you can see, which is going on, so that's why the picture's a lot clearer. If you're going to use this and use it on your own wall, make sure it's a flat surface and plain white, plain grey. You'll get a better quality. Unlike the wall I have behind, which has got Artex on it, it doesn't really show up right. But we do have little handy dandy remote here, so we can chop and change for other things. So let's have a look, see what we've got. So on the left hand side, we have a few things. We have our AV in, VGA, HDMI 1 and HDMI 2. And we also have the screen mirroring function, which we'll go through later. So we do have movie, music, photo, and there's some things about text, settings, support, and also giveaway, which will link them to the design of this. On the settings, we do have quite a few features. So we do have picture mode, sound mode, time mode, so like an auto sleep, and then a few other options as well. So in picture mode, you can change the picture mode for, like, you know, if you want a softer user, if you want vivid, standard, all that good stuff. Or if you want the color temperature, you know, depend on what where the projector is. It all depends on that. You've got your aspect ratio. You can change that up. Noise reduction, so you can change that for either low, medium, or high. And then you can go through the projector mode. Obviously, this will change it to 4 different positions, depending where you actually have this projector mounted. So on the sound, you can set it to standard, balance. So if you want it left and right, or just purely left, purely right, you have audio volume, and you also have your Bluetooth mode. Which you can attach that, so you can attach external speakers to this, which is a really nice feature. Timer, we have an auto timer, so this will sleep timer. So if you want to watch a film and you want to turn it off after that film finishes, you have that feature, as well as you have some operating systems. So you have allow it to change it in English, and we have a few other things like software update, which you can do via a USB by their website. So what I've done is I've plugged in my hard drive, and what we're going to do is go over to movies, and I'm going to click on my hard drive. So you have all the movies that I have on here. So why don't we play something a little bit more interesting? So I'm just going to pause that for a second, but as you can see already, the quality of this, ironically, is really good. So the quality we're currently running at is at 1080p, which is really good for a film like this. So if we skip it a little bit long. So there we go, guys. That was the projector that we went through. And I have to admit, for the size of it, it actually performed very, very well. Like I said, this can be mounted, you know, anywhere you want, from either just sitting on a surface, being on a platform, on a tripod, from the ceiling, from the wall. You have the full variation to change it to how you actually want it. Or if you want to set it up and actually, if your wall is on an angle, you can do so. I definitely would recommend, if you're going to get one of these, to get a projector sheet, just because obviously dependent on the Artex on your wall. Me, I have Artex all over the house, so we have little bubbles everywhere, so the picture was a little bit disformed. So like I said, when we went into the other room, I showed you what it was like on a projector screen. You can get them for relatively cheap, but I have to admit, it works relatively really well with that sheet. And I have to admit, it did really good. It really did. There's everything on there. So you've got your HDMI ports, you've got your SD card reader, you've got your USB ports. So you really can add a multiple type of things of when it comes to this projector. And it's not that bulky and that huge where you can actually, you know, it's going to bother you. I set my projectors up behind my bed because I have a big KF Concept tripod that sits there, as well as a platform that sits on top of that. So these can just sit on there. That's how I like it. Or you may have a different idea of how you want to mount them. That's all down to you of what you want to do. But there is an endless type of supply. You know, it has air intakes, it's got the filters, it's got the sound. And I have to admit, the controller, it's simple, it's conventional, but it's easy. So I have to admit, if you want to go improve your theatre setup and get rid of the telly altogether, go straight for a projector, head down the links in the description. There'll be a link there so you can go check them out for yourself. And as always, thanks very much for watching. If you do end up getting one, you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to help.